breaking news.
Breaking news right now at 6. Evacuations underway in Interlachen due to a large brush fire there. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Channing Curtis. Now, the Florida Forest Service is telling us that this fire is 200 acres. We want to show you exactly where evacuations are taking place at this time. The brush fire is off of Cayuga Road. Evacuations are starting from Munich Avenue to Madrid Avenue and Brussels Avenue. Right now, the sheriff's office says there are some road closures and some areas have no visibility due to smoke from that fire. Our Zach Wilcox just arrived on the scene minutes ago. And Zach, I know you've been working to gather information for us. What can you tell us about what's happening there?
Yeah, Channing, the first things that I want to stress is that as of right now, the Forestry Service has not reported any injuries, any deaths, and no homes have been damaged at this point. However, they do say that some sheds, barns, things that could be on land or on parcels of land have been damaged. I wanted to show you the caution smoke sign. This is what we noticed. We just turned on to Cayuga Road about 5 minutes ago, and we noticed this sign right away. We've smelled a little bit of smoke along the way, and as we were coming in along Highway 20, there was a continuing sound of sirens going on, different fire trucks that turned at different roads coming off of Highway 20, and we've had a couple of people stop along here along Cayuga Road trying to determine if their home is within a safe zone of this fire. But as you mentioned, 200 acres, so we don't really see a huge presence right here. This is just where we were directed to go for some media staging for the time being, but 200 acres is a big fire, so they are working on that at this point. And the Forestry Service mentioned that they don't have a cause right now. That's still under investigation. However, they've had several fires today already within a 5-county area right around this Interlachen area. You know, Alachua County, Putnam County, within that space. And they mentioned that with the winds that are going on, a lot of the issues they've seen are from people doing debris burns on their properties and those getting out of control with how dry things are and the windiness right now. So they are encouraging people that if they have to do any kind of burns on their property, to delay that for right now, maybe through the weekend and maybe just for the next couple of days until conditions can shift a little bit with the amount of wind that's going on out here. We've smelled smoke on and off, but don't really smell any right now. And we're hoping to get more information as to where exactly that fire is spreading to with the direction of the wind. The Forestry Service told us that they were working on getting a command center set up on the Pace Court area, so hopefully they'll have more information as they continue to work around this fire. But with the wind and everything, conditions aren't great as they're trying to get this thing under control, trying to establish a boundary around that fire to get it out. But so we'll just continue to monitor things along this area, along Highway 20 and Cayuga Road. But I wanted to show you again, caution with that smoke, with a lot of drivers, a lot of road closures for drivers to be patient and to be safe out here. In Interlachen, Zach Wilcox, First Coast News, on your side.
All right, let's get out to our meteorologist Ross Muma right now, because Ross, we did get some reports of snow flurries in parts of our area, but we're also tracking some of those strong winds tonight as well.
Yeah, I mean, the winds have been whipping, and Zach mentioned it. I mean, it's a bad combination of very, very dry air, low dew points, and gusty conditions. Sustained winds anywhere from about 15 to 20, even 25 miles per hour at times. But current wind gusts out there, I mean, we got a 39 mile per hour gust in Jacksonville, similar story in Orange Park, 40 at Mayport. Also in Gainesville, and Gainesville is where we did have a report of a 54 mile per hour wind gust earlier this afternoon. So wind advisories remain in place for many of our counties here across the First Coast, with wind gusts upwards of about 40 to 50 miles per hour possible, and that will continue to run during the overnight period and into early tomorrow morning. So winds are expected to gust throughout the overnight upwards of 25 to 35 miles per hour. Isolated gusts stronger than that, but of course then the extreme cold is the other big story out of this. From 9 p.m. this evening until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, extreme cold warning in place as temperatures continue to drop further and further. Right now, I mean, most of us are in the mid-30s around the Jacksonville area. We hit 54 degrees earlier today, and we've already dropped 20 degrees just within the last 4 to 5 hours. 32 in Waycross. We'll talk more about just how much further those temperatures are going to be dropping here over the next few hours. Channing.
New tonight, a federal judge says she will not stop the Trump administration's immigration enforcement in Minnesota as a lawsuit over the surge continues. The state of Minnesota and leaders of St. Paul and Minneapolis sued federal officials earlier this month, calling the enforcement crackdown a, quote, federal invasion that violated the Constitution. Today, the judge denied a preliminary injunction, but in the ruling did say the enforcement ramp up is having a, quote, profound and even heartbreaking effect on the people of Minnesota. In a statement, the mayor of Minneapolis said while he was disappointed in the ruling, the city will continue to pursue the lawsuit. In the meantime, a federal judge is ordering the release of a 5-year-old and his father from a Texas detention center. The order states the two must be released by Tuesday as their immigration case proceeds through the courts. Liam Canejos Ramos and his father have been detained for more than a week after they were taken by immigration agents from their suburban Minneapolis driveway. Immigration officials say the 5-year-old's mother was steps away but refused to take her son. And new at 6, a large anti-ICE protest today in Milan, Italy. This over the involvement of ICE enforcement staff at the upcoming Winter Olympics. The personnel being deployed to Milan to help protect U.S. delegations are from a separate unit from the officers operating in Minneapolis and other U.S. cities. Earlier this week, the State Department announced that several federal agencies, including ICE, would help protect the visiting Americans as they have at past Olympics. Well, starting on Sunday, if you try to board a plane without having a real ID, get ready to pay $45 to verify your identity. Air travelers within the U.S. that don't have a compliant real ID or other acceptable form of identification will have to use the TSA's new verification called Confirm ID. It's $45 and covers a 10-day travel period. And according to NBC News, the fee can be paid online at the TSA website. However, the verification is done at the airport, and you must bring a copy of your receipt with you. Tomorrow, the Florida Health Department is hosting a pop-up immunization clinic in Jacksonville. It's happening Sunday at the Regency Library from 9 a.m. until noon. You can get vaccinated with the MMR vaccine, which includes protection against measles. Also, you can get your flu vaccine and hepatitis A vaccine as well. And tonight, we want to remind you some of JTA's fares are changing tomorrow, and it could make your bus ride a little cheaper. So take a look at your screen right now. We're going to show you a chart with how much the fares are decreasing. You can see, for example, a single trip is going down by 75 cents to just $1. An express fare is dropping from $2.75 to $1.50, and the 31-day pass is dropping by more than $20. Connection rates are also dropping, and this is part of JTA's 6-month fare modification pilot program. These prices will be in effect until July 31st. Then JTA will use ride data and feedback to determine future rates, routes, and services. And we do want to note a fare increase for Connection Plus was initially part of the plan, but that increase has now been postponed until April while JTA continues to hear from community members. Well, another weekend of a winter storm impacting parts of the southeast. Take a look at the snow plows on the interstates around Charlotte, North Carolina. Wow. Tonight, transportation officials there are urging people to stay off the roads and stay at home if you can. Then heading south to South Carolina, this is the area known as the Upstate. The big story with the snow this weekend, the roads. Several car crashes due to the weather conditions there. You can see it looks like a few people might have spun out due to those hazardous conditions. But while a lot of people were risking it in some of the snow while driving, some other people had some fun in the snow as well by taking a chance to go sledding like these people here. And we're taking a look now at a video out of Beaufort, Georgia, that's northeast of Atlanta. More of a dusting of snow there compared to the other two locations we just showed you, but still quite a bit of snow on the ground. And tonight we are tracking flight impacts at the Jacksonville International Airport. So far we have seen about 15 flights have been canceled, all flying to or from Charlotte and Atlanta. And we've seen just over a dozen flight delays.
We saw our own flurries here on the First Coast. A video out of Sanderson from Angela Bureau. Some flurries coming down there. We'll take a look at who saw flurries, who didn't, and just how cold temperatures are dropping here this evening. Coming up.
And the freeze is affecting more than just the forecast, how Florida theme parks are making changes as well. Plus, one of the top finishers at the Donna 5K today is just 16 years old. Why this race hit close to home for him.
Streaming on First Coast News Plus. You're watching First Coast News on your side at 6.
This February, the past mingles with the present on Jacksonville's historic East Side.
A neighborhood that everyone respected everybody.
Birthed from the ashes of the Civil War, Out East remains the city's last 19th century historically black neighborhood.
It's beautiful now, but not the way it was when I first came here.
Each street paved with pain, persistence, and progress.
Mount Olive is still on the block.
Vivid Hues, stories of black history, Monday mornings at 6. First Coast News on your side.
Well, thousands of runners are on our First Coast for the 19th annual Donna Marathon weekend. Today, our Hajaba was at the 5K race and spoke with one of the finishers who took second place in honor of his mother, who's a breast cancer survivor.
This morning at the Donna 5K, one of the top finishers at just 16 years old, taking on second place to kick off the Donna Marathon.
Second place, he is 16 years old.
Trace Crowley was in the second grade when he ran his very first Donna Marathon. Today, at just 16 years old, he crossed the finish line in second place.
The hard work finally paid off. I've been running this for almost 10 years now. And it was just cool because I've always dreamed of this, and to be able to do it with my mom is just really cool.
This marks the 19th annual Donna Marathon weekend, a 3-day event here in Jacksonville dedicated to breast cancer research and care, founded by 3-time survivor and Jacksonville Mayor Donna Deegan. Crowley tells me he started running in honor of his mother, a breast cancer survivor.
I'm glad that they do this. You know, I started this because of her, and then after running that in second grade, now I've become a runner, and now it's my sport. So I'm grateful to this race for starting my career as a runner.
I also asked him about the cold temperatures this morning and whether that played a role in his performance.
Well, I train for this. This is what I do. But yeah, I thought the weather was going to be bad, but it was great. Ran good.
And runners I spoke with say, despite the chill, the mission behind the race makes it all worth it.
Support is real important, whether it's your family or your friends, just calling to check. The text that people would send me would get me through it. Just, hey, I'm thinking about you. I know you have your treatment tomorrow, and anything like that helps.
And it's not over yet. Sunday, thousands of runners will come out to participate in the 19th annual Donna Marathon. In Jacksonville Beach, Hajaba, First Coast News on your side.
All right, so we're taking a look at today's Donna 5K winners from left to right. Bo Boudreaux was the male champion, Adriana Ducarmi was the top female champion, and Andrea Sharp was today's survivor champion. Congratulations to everyone who got out there and braved the cold to run their race today. Well, tonight, Central Florida is bracing for that rare cold snap, and freezing temperatures are even causing Orlando's world-famous theme parks to have to make adjustments. At SeaWorld, operators say that the cold can actually affect how roller coasters run, making safety checks even more critical.
We have polyurethane wheels in all of our coasters, and what you see there is it actually gets a little tighter when it's cold. It has more friction and slows the vehicle down. Sometimes you have to change the wheels and you follow the manufacturer guidelines. So Kraken, one of our coasters right now, has a different style wheel on because of the colder temperatures.
Well, park officials say some rides won't operate until temperatures are warm enough, and some attractions could actually be temporarily delayed. The cold snap is also shutting down all Central Florida water parks this weekend as well.
Yeah, can't imagine I'd want to be out in a water park tonight or really at any point this weekend. Things very, very chilly and even a little bit snowy for some folks. We've got a couple videos here for you. This is out of St. Simon's Island from Frank. A few snow flurries coming down there earlier this afternoon. And another one looks like inside of a snow globe in Middleburg. Tom Arnold sent this in. Although the sun is shining, plenty of very dry, almost like crystal-like snow, very light and really just minuscule snowflakes coming down across the First Coast. Most of this is starting to get wrung out from the very, very dry air that we have in place. So a few real light flurries still left across Camden and Glenn counties, but we do still have a chance for a little bit of more snow, primarily across our southeastern Georgia counties later this evening. Here's our one last batch that's moving out of the east sides of Macon. That'll kind of swing down here to the southeast over the next several hours. So we'll watch up towards St. Simon's Island and Brunswick here through the rest of this evening to see if we happen to get any more snow flurries here on the First Coast. And there actually was a very, very light coating on some of the roads in Glenn County earlier this afternoon. Now, temperature-wise, many of us have already dropped into the 30s. That will continue down into the 20s by about 8 to 9 p.m. And then those temperatures just continue to go down and down and down from there, primarily because of, yes, the cold air coming in and those strong northwesterly winds, but also clearing skies. So that'll allow temperatures to drop even further during the overnight period. So when you wake up tomorrow morning, perhaps you're heading out to church or you are heading out to the Donna, and we'll get into that. I mean, mid-20s out along the beaches and the coastline, low 20s pretty much from I-95 inland. So frigid, blustery, just bitterly cold conditions out there at the beach for the Donna Marathon tomorrow. Wind chills in the low teens and even single digits initially. And the bad thing is that it's really not going to warm up I mean, temperature-wise, we're going to pretty much be stuck in the 30s, but wind chills also in the 30s and even the 20s up until about lunchtime tomorrow. So if you are heading out to the marathon, either to work or as a spectator, or perhaps you just have outdoor plans somewhere tomorrow, limit how much skin exposure you have. Bundle yourself up because, as I mentioned, I mean, real field temperatures going to be struggling to get above freezing throughout much of the day tomorrow, and especially by the afternoon. So record cold for the first day of February tomorrow. The cold will continue into Monday morning as well. Widespread hard freeze is expected tomorrow and Monday morning. So those tropical plants you've got covered up, be sure to do it here the next 2 nights. Now by Monday afternoon, the winds finally begin to back off and taper off a little bit. Temperatures hit the low 50s and then finally back into the 60s there by your Tuesday afternoon. We will have a chance, though, for a little bit of some rain in the forecast by the middle part of this week. Another cold front will swing towards the first coast. That will arrive Wednesday night and into early Thursday morning, bringing a few showers with it, but also a nice warm-up. Temperature's going to be back near 70 by hump day on Wednesday.
Well, the weather might have me wearing a turtleneck because it's so cold outside, but it's actually affecting a massive NASCAR race ahead of the Daytona 500. We'll tell you what, coming up next, plus plenty of hoops going on around the area. We take you all through town for all the massive plays and crucial errors. What's next? Stay with us.
Now, from the Farah and Farah Sports Desk, this is First Coast News Sports.
Yes, nothing quite like a winter storm. NASCAR today announcing they're pushing the clash back to Monday due to the weather in North Carolina. I'm no expert, but probably a pretty good move. The annual NASCAR preseason exhibition was initially meant to take place tomorrow. It's the last race before the all-important Daytona 500 on Feb 15th. G'day, how's it going? I'm Rachel Phillips. No Gators hoops today. Instead, they've got a scintillating top 25 matchup tomorrow at 1 p.m. with Alabama. Your Georgia Bulldogs must have forgot they were playing today. They allowed a 22-0 run from Texas A&M early in the first half. Yeah, never easy to climb out of a hole that big, let alone against the top team in the SEC. But the Dogs tried. Dylan James here with the pickup and then the slam to follow. Georgia cut it to 3 with just over 9 to go, but the Aggies never let them get any closer. They cruised to a 92-77 win to stay atop the SEC standings. Georgia, meanwhile, dropped their third straight. They're at LSU on Saturday. The Florida State Seminoles taking on Stanford as we speak. This game getting going at the top of the hour. The Noles kind of even with Stanford right now. Last I looked, it was 11-11. I know that says 11-9, but 11-11 was the last I saw. FSU looking for their second straight win and third in their last 4 games. Action from that one tonight at 11. Over at the Swish, JU looking to string together their third straight win for the first time this season. Jalen Jones going to bank in a 3 right here, but that would be the only long ranger for the Dolphins off 17 attempts. Yeah, it just wasn't their day. 16 turnovers, which FGCU converted into 15 points as they rolled to a 68-49 win over the Finns. JU at Queen's University in Charlotte on Thursday. Over at UNF, both the Ospreys and the Lipscomb Bisons looking for a bounce-back win. Kent Jackson taking no prisoners in this one. Corner 3. Followed by an opposite corner 3, and yeah, another 3. He had the hot hand early, helping the Ospreys to a 9-point halftime lead. His backcourt buddy in Cam Oriole found his groove too, putting up a career-high 35 points. The dynamic duo combining for 67 of the Ospreys' 94, but it wasn't enough. The Bisons totaled 100 to hand UNF their second straight loss. Ospreys are back on the road on Thursday against West Georgia. UNF women on the road at Lipscomb. Alonia Walden coming off her game-winning 3 on Thursday gets the Ospreys on the board with another from deep. Despite the early 14-point deficit, the Ospreys were in this one all the way till the end, in large part thanks to Jamison Stinson, who totaled a game-high 23. UNF in the end coming up just short. They fall 73-65. Return home on Thursday to play Stetson. Score check for Edward Waters. The men go down in OT 93-86 to Central State. The women, though, even and out. They get the dub 64-38. The second half of the inaugural season for Sporting Jacks kicked off today. Sporting entered today's clash with Assen FC in top spot in Gage Bridge Super League. They also have the league's leading goal scorer and assist maker. That game going on as we speak. Second half just got underway, but at the half it was all tied up at 0. Highlights from that one tonight at 11 as well. And hey, if you want more sports, the latest edition of Porter's Place is streaming right now on First Coast Plus. Sports director Chris Porter is one-on-one with Reigns Vikings head coach Donovan Maslin and plenty more. You can download FCN Plus for free on Apple TV, Fire TV or Roku. That's your look at sports.
And a weather impact alert is in place right now. That'll continue overnight through all of tomorrow and even Monday morning as well. Wind chills tomorrow morning. Going to be feeling like 15 to almost 7 degrees in some places. So dangerous cold. Wind chills pretty much below freezing for many of us through most of the day. The only bright side, there will be some sunshine out there. So take your sunglasses to the Donna along with every article of clothing you have to put on.